Okay, today is the day, D-Day. We are off to Nelson. We're just about to leave Blenheim and head over to the girls at Nelson Brows and Beauty. I've looked up all the pre-procedure and post-procedure rules and following them to a T because I want the best outcome. Completely naked at the moment. About to look amazing. Okay, so I will be filming some of the procedure. I'll be having a chat to the girls and introduce you to them, the wonderful ladies at Nelson Brows and Beauty. And I'll also be taking you on the healing journey, what you will need to expect with the healing process and how they will look day by day as they settle into their final result. Okay, chat soon. Here we go. Beautiful waiting room. Just sitting in the waiting room. I've filled out the forms. Are you nervous?
I'm so nervous.
So one last look at the naked brows. So we've got the numbing cream on. I can't feel the top half of my face, but that's exciting. That's what we want. And we've got Sophie here who's going to be working her magic on my brows today. This is Sophie.
Hey!
And yeah, we've just had a chat about what we're going to be doing, and she is going to draw the shape on and we'll have a discussion and go from there. This will be the last time we see naked brows.
Because we're creating a stencil of your eyebrow, but when we do the tattooing, we're creating a nice shadowing underneath. So we just look past that blocky look of the drawer and try to visualize a nice shadow underneath the eyebrow.
It actually looks amazing.
Your brows are naturally amazing.
I have the most expressive eyebrows anyone's ever come across. So Sophie has done an amazing job. This is the final draw up, final measure, and I'm really happy with those. When you're told to relax your brows, they want to dance all over the place. So she has done a really awesome job. There we go. And the added addition of the sexy hat.
Bit of pigment soaking on there as well, and we're going to go to the other side.
Wowee. Looking amazing.
We're getting there.
Numbing away. I'm going for the very big bushy brow look. What do you think? Wild.
Brows are done. Nah.
Yeah, looking amazing. This is the new trend. I'm a trendsetter.
So now that your brows are done, basically what you're going to notice is they're going to feel a lot darker and more crisp. But what's going to happen over that healing process is they're going to soften, they're going to fade, they're going to blend. The warmth will drop out of the brows, and some cool tones will come through.
Amazing. I am so happy with those. So happy with those. What do we think? Good job. The reward at the end of a big day. Good morning. I just woke up looking like this. How good is that? Wow. I didn't dream it. I feel like I could just about roll out of bed and walk out the door. Got my brows on, got my eyeliner done, lips still looking good. Ready to take on the day. Hey guys, welcome to day one. I'm really excited that I am off on another journey with these fabulous girls at Nelson Brows and Beauty. They did an absolutely fantastic job of my cosmetic lip tattoo, and that was back in July. I have now gone over and taken the plunge into having my brows and my eyeliner tattooed on as well. In this video, I'm excited to take you on the journey through the healing process of my cosmetic brow tattoo. I had the lovely Sophie do that for me over again at Nelson Brows and Beauty, and she did an absolutely fantastic job. It was an amazing experience to also see their headquarters and where they work from, because Lisa, who did my lip cosmetic tattoo, actually came over to Blenheim to do that. So it was a bit of a treat to go see where the hub was, where these girls work their magic, and having my brows cosmetically tattooed on. So I actually left Nelson Brows and Beauty after having this done, and followed the aftercare instructions that I was given, and this is the kit that was provided for me. The first blurb here explains just how I care for them today, immediately following the procedure, to give them the best start. Then for the rest of the week, how I care for them and what I should expect in the coming days and the result I should expect to achieve. So I also was given some Tui Balm to help hydrate and heal, a couple of cotton swabs for application, and these little cotton wipes to wipe and help to avoid any blood plasma forming before I apply my Tui Balm. So for the first 4 hours after my treatment, I left my aftercare on, and that was to just really let it set in and prevent them from drying out. And from there it was a case of just gently wiping them down, removing the treatment that had been left on, and applying just a smidge of this lovely Tui Balm, which is super hydrating and just feels amazing. And every hour until bedtime I just gave them another wipe and another small application of the Tui Balm, and that is to prevent the blood plasma from forming and drying, therefore minimizing the scabbing that may occur, and it just helps the healing process along quite nicely. So I'll also be keeping away from any soap, any sweating, yay, no exercise for me for the next week, and also no makeup and lotions on the area that has been cosmetically tattooed, and that's just obviously to keep in mind that you can be prone to infections and reactions to products when your skin has just recently been opened, and I mean it is a tattoo, so just keep in mind that there are tiny cuts, there are tiny abrasions, and that opens you up to a little bit of sensitivity. So it's just being really careful and mindful of keeping the area clean while the healing process is in action. I'm really thoroughly chuffed with the outcome of what I've received. She did an amazing job with mapping, and the procedure itself is so easy. There's No pain whatsoever. An anesthetic cream is applied to each brow, so it's working its magic before we go back to a Passover. And so by the time we get there, it's numb again, no pain, no irritation. All I can relate it to is just a slight scratching sensation, but nothing that's overbearing or uncomfortable. So on day one, as you can see, they are quite warm. I am a redhead, so they do match the colour of my hair, which is absolutely awesome. However, my natural brows aren't that warm and they aren't that deep. So what Sophie has done is she's taken into account that the warmth of the tone does drop out over time. So they're exceptionally warm at the moment, but day by day you'll see them cool down in tone to a more muted, just a slightly warmer blonde. And just relax in the temperature and cool down a little bit, just so they're not so bold and warm. And it's also expected that they will go a little bit darker as they're healing before they get lighter again. So I'm not actually seeing them being much darker today as they were yesterday. So we'll just be checking in and seeing if that changes in the coming days. And also, as the skin does heal and it begins to crust, there can be some flaking, so I am aware of that. And although it may seem like the brow colour is completely coming away, it actually will present itself after that through the healing skin. So it's going to get worse before it gets better, but that's what I'm here for, to show you how that's going to go. The symmetry is absolutely out of this world. She did such an awesome job with the mapping. I'm very expressive, so she took into account that this muscle is always working overtime, and this one here is always a little bit more relaxed. Everyone's results are different as well. I was made quite aware of that skin types come into play. Everyone's skin layers are different. Everyone's oil production is different, so the results do vary. So this journey here is going to allow me to showcase to you guys how they heal on me and how the final result is going to look. Today I don't feel any discomfort. In fact, probably about an hour after I had my brows completed, the anesthetic did wear off and they were just a little bit tender. And then from probably 2-3 hours onwards, they've actually felt really, really good. Like, they haven't bothered me at all, to the point where I'll go to rub my eye and have to remind myself, oh no, no touching. I know that something has happened to my brows, but I wouldn't call it a discomfort. They absolutely feel fantastic. So really happy on day one. Okay, so day two, not noticing too much of a difference from yesterday, other than they actually are just more comfortable. I think the only difference I have noticed is when applying my Tui balm. They're just a little bit more crusty. It just feels like my hairs are more stiff. I don't feel like they've gotten darker. However, I do feel like the warmth is starting to just come out of them a little bit. So they almost had like a pinky reddish tinge underneath the brow hairs, and now they're just looking a little bit more neutral and more matched to my brow hairs, if that makes any sense. They're almost quite a wearable, drawn-on brow now. However, I wouldn't usually draw them on this deep, so I'm quite happy for them to still fade out a little bit more, even though they're passable and look fantastic. I'm not shy to bare my face to my clients today. And so yeah, day two, they're feeling really comfortable. No itchiness has set in yet. I still have to be very aware that I have had my eyebrows cosmetically tattooed on, and don't rub them, or just be mindful of them, because they're not hurting or feeling any discomfort or itchiness to be aware of them as such. Yeah, so day two, awesome. Okay, so day three, I kind of want something to happen now, so I have something more interesting to talk about. But to be quite honest, I kind of forget I had anything done because they just feel good. I think the only thing that I've noticed that has really changed today is that intense warmth that was there to begin with has started to subside, which Sophie told me to expect, and they're just becoming a little bit more neutral. So as you can see, around the perimeter of the brow, right on the edge of where the cosmetic tattoo happened, it was almost a pinky reddish tone. And now it's becoming that nice neutral, natural tone. You couldn't even point out that I've had my eyebrows cosmetically tattooed on. I just look incredibly blessed with the most symmetrical, fabulous brows. The colour match is amazing, and I still am expecting it to fade a little bit. However, everything's just going really well. I haven't had any scabbing yet, no flaking. I expect that will come still in the coming days. But other than that, they're just doing really, really well. There's nothing to the touch when I'm applying my aftercare. And actually it's just quite nice because it styles them in the morning and in the afternoon and midday. It just gives them a little bit of a sleek look. So that's the joy of that. Yes, so I'll see you day 4, and maybe there may be some further changes then. Hey, I just wanted to jump on here real quick on day 4, just before I applied my aftercare balm, because I think I'm seeing a little bit more of a difference now on day 4. As you can see, I'm just going to gently bring down the hairs just so you can see it a little bit better. The pigment is getting a lot darker. As you can see around the edges, it started to darken a lot more and look a little bit more defined. And I'd say that is where the skin is healing and it's starting to harden and potentially turn into that flaky effect that I should be expecting to happen. Yeah, that warmth is really lifted and come away now, and I'm really loving this neutral tone that's coming through. So I'm just doing this really gently because obviously I don't want to scratch my skin. I just really wanted to show you that true tone coming through. And as you can see, we are starting to achieve the result that we're after as well. Sophie explained to me that the aim of the game was to create that really nice sculpted tail, and then as it came in through towards the nose, it was starting to fade out, and that's starting to come to life now. The pigment has faded a lot more through the front part of my brow, and she said that will just about mostly come away and just fade into the nice defined tail. So it's looking really, really cool. So these are my naked brows without my Tui Balm on. So that is with the Tui Balm on, which I actually really like to apply throughout the day because it sculpts them nicely. It presses all the hairs into place and makes them look really tidy. So a lot more cool toned today, and with the fading towards the nose, it's going to have a really awesome effect when I am able to tint my hairs, which I think is from day 10. And that's going to really give that nice result of the little hair strokes towards the inside of the nose and then the nice defined tail on the outside. Okay, so day 5 today. I've noticed a little bit more of a difference today. They still aren't itchy. They still haven't caused me any irritation of any sort. Hashtag blessed. However, upon closer inspection, I have noticed, if you can just see underneath the hairs, there is a little bit of darkening and a bit more of a mottled effect where the pigment is getting a little bit more deeper and potentially hardening and scabbing. I can't feel it to the touch, but I can just see that little bit of difference happening in there. The little white patches that you see is just the Tui Balm. But if you look really closely, right in here. You can see those little dark dots. I think that's just a little bit of scabbing starting to happen. So a bit of a change today. And I do have one little point just in here. Just every now and again, it's just this little sharp itch that just comes and goes. Not enough that I felt like I've needed to scratch, which obviously you cannot do and I would not do. But yeah, it just catches me every now and again. The colour has neutralised a lot more. Day 5, going strong, looking good. Yeah, so let's see what day 6 has in store. So day 6 I have a few more changes. I've noticed a little bit of the scabbing starting to form on the tail of my brow. So under the hair there, I can see that skin is just starting to pucker and harden. And the pigment is grabbing and just is quite significantly darker in those points. Through here, it's absolutely fine still. There's no scabbing that I can see. However, through the tail, just little hard patches in there. So I'm just being really gentle with those because obviously I don't want them to be picked or rubbed or pulled off in any way, which could cause premature pigment loss where that skin hasn't quite dried and wanted to come away. If I start picking and pulling at those areas, it could take out some areas that weren't ready to flake away and therefore pulling the pigment out with them. So we just want to be careful with those scabbing areas. I have found that the colour again is a little bit more cooler. That warmth has completely lifted now and I'm really loving the neutral tone that's come through. Hey team, so today on day 7 marks 1 week of having my brows cosmetically tattooed on. This means that between the 7 to 10 day mark is fully healed. I actually haven't experienced much scabbing or flaking as I was to expect, which was between the days 5 to 8 mark. I feel like the colour has faded just slightly and then just a tiny little bit of that mottled darker area, which I assume that's where I'm potentially going to peel from. I am not sure if I'm out of the woods with that or not, so I'm still going to continue to monitor this and any further changes I will show you. I have had a little bit more itching, and to me, if I relate that to like having a sunburn, then when that itching starts, then the peeling starts. So perhaps that's still to come, and I'm just a bit more of a slow healer, but they've just been so easy. So day 7, I have 3 more days to go till I'm allowed to put a wee tint over my hair. And that way it'll be a really cool effect because my hair, which is lighter than what the tattoo is, then it'll blend really nicely and it'll look really cool. So 1 week today, and yeah, I'm not sure if I'm just one of those lucky ones or we still have a bit more healing to go. The true colour still isn't going to show until the 3 to 4 week mark, so I will be checking back in to show you the final settled result, and then of course I'll have my touch up to come after that on the 6 week mark. Yay, day 10 today, I get to put on some makeup and feel alive. Today is the day that I was allowed to tint my brows, and they're extremely dark at the moment, but they will settle in, and that was just to give the hairs a little bit of a tone as well, just so they're not looking all light and fluffy on top of my brow tattoo. So yeah, I'm feeling very Cara Delevingne at the moment, but yeah, they will settle down, and it's just really given them a bit of a boost as well, especially now that I can put on some makeup. No more dryness, no more flakiness. They have faded out a significant amount since the beginning, but still look amazing. And yeah, I'm feeling very glam and very, very happy with my brows on day 10. I'm going to check in again at the 4-week mark now, and that's going to be when they are 100% in their true tone that they will be, and they will stay until I have my touch-up done at the 6-week mark, which I will also take you along on that journey and show you the very end result. We are at the 4-week mark, and I just thought I'd do a quick not so cute roll out of bed look for you, just so you can see how my brows are looking all by themselves. I only have 2 more weeks till I get my touch-up done, which is very soon. It's gone really quickly, and they are still looking really good. I would say that the structure is still really prominently there. When I was told to expect them to fade, I was expecting a little bit more fading, so I'm pleasantly surprised at how they're still faring really well and holding that beautiful clean shape. And I only have a couple of more weeks till I get my touch-up done, which is going to make them even more structured and beautiful. So as you can see, I still have that beautiful soft shadow in behind my brows. I am blessed to have a significant amount of brow hairs as a nice guide, and the shadow is giving them more depth. However, I think you'll get that more dramatic effect if you weren't to have already the brow hairs there to give them the structure. There'd be more of a difference in the before and after. I think that I could probably walk down the street and people wouldn't even bat an eyelid that I have had my brows cosmetically tattooed on, which is great. Like, they're natural, they're beautiful, they're something that you can roll out of bed and not feel so unbalanced if you're not wearing makeup. You just feel nice and manicured and put together. Excuse the tear. Yeah. Every morning I just have this one tear that rolls down my cheek dramatically. So yep, I'll be seeing you in 2 weeks. Also, excuse the sound of my voice. I absolutely ruined my sinuses by jumping out of a plane during the holidays, so no big deal. In 2 weeks time I'll catch up with you again and take you on the journey of my touch-up. And just a wee sneaky put together makeup shot for you and how they look when I am transformed. Okay, so that's just a quick day glam for me. A bit of BB cream, some highlighter, lip balm and mascara. And I've just set my brows with a clear gel just to keep the hairs nice and tame. See you in 2 weeks. I've just arrived in Nelson. It is an absolutely beautiful day for a drive, and I am off to get my touch-ups done. I will see you in there. Touch-up complete. The brows are looking amazing, and it was such an easy process. I was not even close to being in there as long as the first time, and I just put that down to them still being super awesome from the first round. My eyes are just a little bit puffy because I had my eyeliner also touched up today. Sophie just did another pass over and really locked that pigment in there. We didn't need to make any changes. Yeah, so brows are absolutely fantastic. That was such a short appointment compared to last time. We didn't actually have to do much today. It was just more a case of going over and checking for any pigment loss, checking for any patches that need to be touched up, or whether I'd like to go darker, any changes that needed to be made. However, I didn't actually require any changes to be made. I was so in love with the first round, and so today was more or less a case of just locking that pigment in. So we had a couple of passovers, and now we just do the aftercare as per the first time. See that warmth lift out again and the colour neutralise. I'm pretty happy. Today marks 4 weeks since I had my final brow touch-up, and I am all complete. So these are the finished and healed results of these wonderful new friends I have to call my own. And I have just had so many compliments from clients and friends and family. I just feel so complete and content with how everything has settled and looks after my wee journey with the girls at Nelson Brows and Beauty. Yeah, what more can I say? I advocate having this done 110%, whether you've got sparse brows or you just want that nice full volume in behind the brow hairs that you've got. It's just a wonderful privilege to have been able to do this, and I recommend it to absolutely everybody. If you do have any questions, fire them my way. Obviously I'll be answering them from personal experience. Anything more technical and on a professional level, then the girls at Nelson Brows and Beauty are absolutely wonderful and will be more than happy to either set your mind at ease or bring light to any queries, fill any gaps, literally. And yeah, no, they'd be more than happy to help out. They are just awesome to work with. And I'm so hoping that this video can inspire some of you, those who might be a little bit scared to go ahead with this and have been thinking about it for a while. I was very nervous going into it, I'm not gonna lie. It's a scary thing and it's our face, but I couldn't be in better hands. So yeah, honestly, that's all I can say about that, to be honest. And as you can see from my before and my after photos, I did a good thing. I made a good choice. So yeah, I look forward to seeing all the wonderful photos of all of those who are ready to jump in and give it a go. So I will leave you with this. I've decided to do a beautiful lamination on these new bad boys to see how that all looks together.